Coming up on this edition of Knightcast, the game that lived up to all the hype, STM versus LCA last Friday night. Tonight, we'll have the brackets on display with a special guest in the show tonight to help us make sense of it all. Plus, volleyball heads to the Cajun Dome for the quarterfinals. Juwan Johnson makes huge strides. Stay tuned for Knightcast. Good evening, everyone. Jay Miller here alongside of my co-host, Amy Kane. Amy, good to see you again. I want to say thank you for all of your faithful support all season long. You know, Amy, when we started this week one, this segment called Knightcast, you know, we had no idea who would watch, why they would want to watch, what we were going to say, what we were going to do, how it would come out. And, you know, Amy, we have averaged over 3,000 viewers per week.
I know. Look, I was along Champions Row on Friday night, and amazing the number of people that stopped that say they watched the show. Do you know their favorite part?
I don't want to know. I don't think I want to know.
They like when I make fun of you. I get more make fun of Jay more than any other comment that gets told to me out there. So,
well, anyway,
I will do my best.
We're so, for whatever reason you watch, we're just glad that you're here, glad that you're engaged with us, as we've had an incredible, incredible year following LCA Knights all the way through the regular season, and now it's the most exciting time. We do the regular season, Amy, to get to this point right here, the postseason. And we have some graphics and some brackets that we'll show you and have a special guest coming in, but I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good edition of Knightcast. I mean, we're going to talk about a game that did live up to all of its hype, and that game is now leading us into the new season, as I like to call it, the postseason. So we're going to talk all about that, the brackets. We're going to break it down. We do have a special guest, as Jay said. Now, volleyball headed to the quarterfinals in their playoff run, and Juwan Johnson, he made huge strides as he's trying to take over as the all-time yards leader in the state of Louisiana. So the Juwan Watch, of course, coming up.
Well, good. Well, be sure to hit share, hit like, let somebody know to tune into our live show right now. Also, right now in the comments line, go ahead and tell us where you're watching from. Our kids love to come back and rewatch the show and look at all the comments of who you're bragging about and who you're following along the way. But before we move on with the show, special thanks to tonight's sponsor, Acadiana Plumbing. Thank you, Dustin Oquin and company, for your support of Knight Athletics.
All right, Jay, let's get right to it, because last Friday night, well, it was definitely one for the ages. A new home attendance record, 4,400 people packed into Knight Field. There was not a seat to be found. There wasn't a parking space to be found. It was the second quarter, and they still had cars that were coming in trying to get into watch what. I mean, look. This was just craziness leading up to the game.
Some people parked at McDonald's and walked to the stadium.
I mean, that might have been the closest spot you were going to get. And I'm going to tell you, broadcasted by Cox Sports statewide, there were politicians in the house, celebrities in the house. Man, the place, it was rocking. And Max Preps had it as the number 9 game of the week in the entire country.
Unbelievable.
In the entire country. Everyone watching, let's get to those highlights.
Well, Amy, last Friday was senior night, and so we start our highlights off tonight with the best 1 minute before a game in high school football. Leading all players was your 18 seniors in front of Nitro the Great. We'll pause 1 minute just so you can have a close experience with Nitro and these 18 seniors.
Yeah!
STM comes out firing on all cylinders Friday night. Offensive clicking, defense clicking. In fact, STM jumps out to a 21-0 lead, and it wasn't until the middle of the second quarter that the Knights started to finally find a little bit of rhythm. Jawan finds Trey Grogan along the right side for 15 yards, and the Knights trying to get something going. Trey Grogan comes up big all night long for LCA. On the very next play, Jalen Noel, he runs up the middle. Looks like he would be stopped, but Jalen breaks out of the pile. He races 30 yards. The Knights finally on the board. It's 21-6 STM after a missed two-point attempt. STM drives down the field. They get a field goal with 20 seconds before half. That's not enough time to score, is it? Well, it's actually 7 seconds too much, because on the very first play, Jawan finds Trey Grogan for 70 yards. I mean, the kid just has a cannon for an arm. 6 seconds, and just like that, LCA claws themselves back into the game just before halftime. The halftime score, STM 24, LCA 13. And at halftime, things just kind of get off the hook in the stadium because special music artist Cupid decides he's going to dance with the LCA cheerleaders and the STM sparklers. A record-breaking crowd is there to entertain, and the shuffle is on.
The Knights get the ball first in the second half, and the Knights get on the board first in the third quarter. Jawan finds a streaking Brennan Walker for 65 yards. Knights cut the lead to 24-19, and the Knights, they just kept fighting all night long. On the very next STM possession, it's Melvin Heels. Melvin in the backfield for the Knights. Sam Altman's pass batted into the air, right into the hands of senior, or we should say, King John Moore-Leday. There he is, number 99, makes his first interception on the season. On the ensuing drive, LCA on the move. Noel takes it down to the STM 5-yard line. Noel gave STM fits all night long. On the very next play, Jawan keeps it down the left side, jumps into the end zone, and the Knights take their first lead of the game by a score of 30-24. Remember, the Knights were down 21 points in the second quarter. STM would respond with a touchdown of their own, go up 30-25. LCA says, well, we aren't done yet. Jawan finds TJ Marzell, this time for 68 yards. One play, 68 yards. He makes the catch, and then he just outruns everyone into the end zone. The place was going wild. 2-point conversion coming up. 2-point conversion is good. Jawan to Trey Grogan, and it's now 33-30. LCA up, 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. STM responds, gets a touchdown of their own to make it 37-33. I mean, Amy, this game just going back and forth, back and forth. STM, they're driving with 2 minutes to go in the game. They're about to put the game away. They're up 37-33, but we have a bad snap exchange. The ball is on the ground. The ball pops out. All of a sudden, senior Cooper Martin is right there to pick it up, and Cooper Martin scoops it and scores 89 yards, Amy. 89 yards. Knights go up 40-37 with 1:44 remaining in the game. The Knights defense would just need one stop to secure the win. So, STM on their final drive. LCA gets called for 3 pass interference calls, giving the Cougars 45 yards in the process. STM scores, Altman back to pass. Cooper Martin makes the hit just a second too late. throws it into the end zone. It's caught. STM Cougars will score, take the lead 44-40, 26 seconds left in the game. Now, Knights have one timeout. They got to go 70 plus yards in 20 seconds. Well, we get started. Jawan finds TJ Marzell, and he takes it down to the STM 42-yard line. 9 seconds left. Pass intended for TJ Marzell. Pass goes incomplete. We got 1.5 seconds on the clock. We have time for one final play. Jawan scrambles, back to pass, throws into triple coverage just outside the grip of Trey Grogan. The ball hits the turf. The horn goes off. The game is over. And you thought that last year's state championship couldn't be matched. We were all wrong. What a game. Knights fall 4 inches short. Final score, LCA 40, STM 44. What a ball game. You know, Amy, $10 entry fee to get in, 4,400 plus people there. You got your $10 worth of entertainment.
You did. Let me tell you, and I told you this before the show started. The one thing that I did not like is that the end of the game, the referees should not be deciding factors in a game like this. It's the number 9 game in the country. It's going to be tight. They're going to play tight. You got to let them play.
Now, I watched several of those pass interference calls. One of them particularly was pretty obvious.
Agreed.
And really,
But 3?
At 3. But really, the one that was really obvious, it was really it didn't, whether we touched him or not, the kid would have never caught the ball. The ball was actually thrown out of bounds. No one could have caught that particular ball. And so really it was kind of a useless penalty. I'm not saying the ref shouldn't have called it. I'm saying maybe we shouldn't have, defended that close on that particular play. Nonetheless, 3 pass interference calls. What a ball game. Well, Knights go to 8-2 on the season, 4-1 in district play. STM Cougars will go 5-0 in district play, and they repeat as District 4-4A state district champions. The Knights drop 1 spot in GoPreps.com to number 3, and they drop 2 spots, MacPrep.com, to the number 5 spot. So congrats to the STM Cougars, District 4-4A champions, 3-0 against LCA all-time in football. What are the likely chances that LCA gets a rematch in the Superdome against STM?
Well, let's go game by game, and we're going to break those brackets down. I think possible, but playoffs, 1 game at a time.
Got
Let's
some work
take
to
it.
do, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. A lot of work to do before that happens. But after the game, it was Reagan that caught up with head coach Hunter Landry. I talked to Hunter Landry's family. God, they love that guy.
Yeah.
It's
Very
awesome.
well. I think everybody in Bro Bridge loves this kid.
It really, absolutely. It was great. Got to visit with him before the game. But after Reagan caught up with Hunter Landry, he talked about the team's performance and how they managed to claw their way back into the game again and again.
Here with Coach Hunter Landry. Coach, what does it mean to you as the head coach to watch your boys fight every single play to the very last play like they did tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't be. There's no words for it. I mean, just to see them scratching, clawing, fighting to the very last second. I mean, it's a great throw, great catch. We're in great position. It's just one of those. You tip your cap, and it is what it is. Just a great play.
Yep. Going into this bye week and going into the playoffs, what's the message? What's the heart? What's the word to the team?
Find a way to get better. Obviously there's always going to be something you can improve on, and so hopefully we get back to work and just don't let this game, this loss dictate the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Gotta love head coach Hunter Landry's, his demeanor, the way he speaks, the way he talks, and his outlook. I think it's going to pay great dividends over these next 4 weeks as we jump into the playoffs. Well, after the game, We got a chance to catch up with Juwan and got his thoughts on this roller coaster game. Slow start in the beginning, a lot of fireworks at the end, just one play short of a victory. Here's what Juwan had to say.
What is it about when you're down that you feel like, hey, we can get back in the game any minute?
Because we know we got the guys on the offensive side to do it. We got all kind of guys like the slots, the outside receivers, the running back. We could just make a play at any time, and we know that. So just us being able to know that and being confident in ourselves, we know we could do it.
You get the defensive touchdown, the long fumble return. What's the mood on the sideline? What are you feeling at that point?
Now we definitely were hyped. We knew we had to go back and play defense and get another stop, but we definitely was excited.
Do you feel like this game was very similar to the Superdome game? You know, Sam gets the ball and has a chance. And did you feel like, okay, whoever gets the ball with enough time on the clock is going to win this game?
Definitely at one point of one point of the game, Sam, he a great player, great quarterback. He's gonna make a play at the right times, and he just made a play at the right time today.
I know you want another shot.
Oh, definitely.
So we'll find out Sunday. Would you prefer to be on the other side and meet in the Superdome, or does it matter?
It don't matter. Just as long as we see him again, we good.
Juwan Johnson continues his tear despite the loss, Amy, in chasing Brock Berlin's all-time LHSAA career offensive total yards record that currently stands at 13,659 total yards. Entering Week 10, Juwan, his number was at 12,431. What does that mean? It means coming into Friday night's big STM district championship matchup, what does he need? 1,228 yards to break the record.
So he comes into Week 10, STM, huge game. He posts 538 of total yards of offense. That brings his new total to 12,969 yards of total offense, meaning he's currently just 691 yards away from breaking Brock Berlin's all-time record. Now, not only is he chasing this record, this came into play this past weekend as well, he's also chasing the all-time LHSAA career total TD record. That was held by Nick Brissett at 167 total TDs in his career. Juwan came into the week with 151 career total touchdowns. In Week 10, he scores 4 total, bringing his total to 155 career touchdowns. He just needs 13 more touchdowns, and that breaks this record for an all-time career total touchdown record. I mean, he's incredible. He's incredible to watch. He's a show. He's a show by himself, and he has the possibility of 4 more games to get these records in hand.
I did the math real quick, Amy.
You and the math. Here
He's
we go.
6, you're the English, you leave the math to me.
I know.
691 away
Right.
with 3 potential games. Now there's 4, but if in 3 games, he would need to average 230 yards a game.
Okay.
He did 230 on 4 throws last Friday night.
All right.
So it's very much in the realm of possibility. If we were to get to the state championship game, he would only need 172 yards a game to break the record. So we're right there. And Amy, when we started this show 10 weeks ago, he was like 3,000, 4,000 yards away. And we thought, you know what?
Maybe.
We
It'd
might
be
can
fun.
get to
Yeah,
this.
it might be
and,
fun.
And now that we're into the playoffs, we're 691 yards away. It is going to be amazing to get this done. Now, still have some work to do.
Absolutely.
And can't take your first round opponent for granted. Second round, a lot of work to do. Just because we've been to the state championship, I think it's 6 consecutive times, winning 4 of the 6, doesn't necessarily mean it's given to you automatically. You got to earn that spot.
Far from it. And I know that we will be able to talk about that with our special guest that's coming up. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, head coach Hunter Landry is with us. We're going to break down the brackets.
Got the brackets?
Got the brackets.
Nice
We're gonna
road to
talk
the
all about
dome.
it. Absolutely. So hang on. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Knightcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Well, tonight, Amy, we welcome our special guest, first-year head coach, Hunter Landry. Hunter, welcome to Knightcast. Good to see you tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we got you in to break down and talk about the season. But before we get to the playoffs, congratulations on a great year, Hunter. Last year, as offensive coordinator, we go 7-3. This year, in our regular season, we go 8-2. We pick up one of those wins that were a loss last year. So we improved in that category for sure. And it's just been a great year to watch your team and watch you. And so congratulations to that.
And Coach, I want to start by asking you, what has been the biggest difference moving from OC to head coach? I mean, it's a world of difference. Yeah, exactly, right?
Not even X's and O's. That's the fun part Friday night. It's everything in between from Saturday morning till Thursday night, Friday morning. That's been the toughest change, but it's been good. It's been good change. Again, a good learning experience. I was excited for the opportunity, and it's been going about as well as it could go.
So you have a great regular season, but now records all go away, right? And everybody is 0-0 as we head in. It's win or go home.
Right.
So taking a look at the brackets, what's your thoughts? Of course, LCA, first round bye, but looking at the bracket and the way it's set up, LCA going to play the winner of Peabody, Booker T. Washington. Take on that game.
Yeah, we were excited to get the first round bye. I think after a long, grueling season and non-district and district play, we really needed the bye week to kind of heal up and get healthy. So that's kind of what we focused on this week, was just getting healthy, kind of get back to some fundamental stuff. Spend a little bit more time teaching, but really just trying to get healthy. And then two really good opponents with Booker T and Peabody, not too familiar with either of them. Hear a lot of good things about both sides. And I told the kids, it really didn't matter who we had. As long as we got in the playoffs, we had a shot. And so, we were thankful to get a first round bye. And we're going to take it one game at a time. Whoever it may be, we'll find out, Friday night and then get prepared Saturday morning.
Now, you guys on your side of the bracket, the number 2 seed, Edie White, of course, on your side of the bracket, St. Louis, Turlings on that side of the bracket as well. Now, those are the 4 teams that have those first round byes. And when you look at the other side of the bracket, you got STM, the number 1 seed, sitting up there with St. Michael the Archangel, Archbishop Shaw, John F. Kennedy. So, potentially, though, and we were talking about this before you came in, that depending on what happens, and of course a lot of football to be played, but there is a possibility that depending on how everything goes, it could be that rematch with Turlings for the opportunity to go back to the state championship.
Right. I think there's a lot of really good teams on both sides of the bracket, at the top and the bottom. You can look at it and make a case for anybody, upsetting anybody at any time. McDonough, we saw last year, they could go in and give St. Louis fits. Madison Prep's usually athletic and a ton of speed. So, it wouldn't shock me if they're playing late into the season. I think Turlings, if they could get some things going, they'll be right there. So I think there's just a lot of games, and I don't think there's any one team in particular that sticks out. I think at any given time, any of those teams could end up coming out of that side of the bracket. So, we're going to focus one game at a time, and hopefully, December 8th, I believe it is, something like that, 9th, hopefully we're there.
All right, Coach. So first round bye, tomorrow night, no game, first round bye. We're at home, I'll just say, the following Friday night. If you win, then you'll be at home the next Friday night. It's guaranteed. If you win, you stay at home.
Right.
Now, the only time that you could possibly go on the road before the Dome is if Edie White beats Turlings. Let's say all numbers, everybody holds serve, and the higher seed wins. Then the Knights would go on the road. We'd go down the bayou, if you will, down to play Edie White in the semifinal. Winner advances to the Dome. However, if a Turlings or a Madison Prep, or let's say, were to upset Edie White, then we would play that winner back at home and would give us 3 playoff games at home.
Right.
And so that'd be something to look forward to as well.
Yeah. I mean, I remember a couple years ago when we ended up winning. I think it was maybe back in 2020. We didn't have any home playoff games at all, and you know, just it was crazy how it ended up happening. You know, so that would be exciting to be able to play in front of a home crowd. But you know, we're just gonna be.
Hey, look, last year we were a 6 seed. We were at home the first round. And then we were away to De La Salle. We were away to Turlings. I mean, away, and you're not in your stadium. We're across the town, but you were away. Then, of course, in the Dome, everyone's away.
Right.
And so, you know, I like our chances on the road. I like our chances at home. Right. But you're right. It's a lot easier playing at home. You got your routine. You got your timing. Right. You got your meal prep done at the same time. The locker room, everything's normal.
Right.
That would be nice. So a lot of things coming up, a lot of things to watch as we follow and track the road to the Dome.
You just like your chair to call the games at home. I think that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
I know. You were such a creature of habit.
You know, we just had Cox Sports cover the game, and they do a remarkable job. Jeff Palermo and the color guy, they're phenomenal.
Right.
And everybody came up to me Friday night and said, I'm so mad at you and Deondi because it's not on Night Vision. I'm like, guys, this is an upgrade.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Right.
No, we like Night Vision. We want Night Vision. It's really amazing to the people that just love, you know, because we kind of know a lot of stuff and kind of go inside. And I don't know, sometimes we just fight the whole time.
Right.
Whatever, but so hey,
Coach,
at home we'll have Night Vision the whole time.
Let me ask you this, and we'll wrap it up because I know you got a bunch of things to handle this week, but you talked about needing the off week, getting healthy, but let's talk about the guys. I would imagine going into the playoffs, they've got a taste in their mouth to want to take it out on somebody after the game that happened against STM.
Right, you know, I think they're just excited to go out and compete. It really doesn't matter. I don't think who it is. You know, the message was, you know, I think even when we've played at our worst with Ruston and STM, you know, especially offensively, we kind of left some points out on the field. We end up being, you know, less than a touchdown away from beating both those teams. But in the same breath, also, we can't afford to not be at our best for the next 4 games, hopefully. You know, so hopefully we could clean up some things on that side.
Great. And can I just say, as, you know, a fan, let Juwan throw. Just let him air it out.
Or pitch it if he's gonna hand it off.
Run it,
pitch it
either
forward.
way. We want him to get the yards and the touchdowns. We're pulling for that here. We're having a good time.
Well, Coach,
with that.
I think if we could back up 10 weeks, and I was to tell you, Coach, after first year, you would lose to the number 1 5A team in the state by 3. You would lose to the number 1 4A team in the state by 4. So you lose to the top 2 teams in the entire state, all classes, by a combined 7 points. You'd be 8-2, a number 3 seed going into the playoffs. Coach, I know we don't like it when we lose, especially the way we kind of lost those 2 games. I think we would have taken that action on the front end of the season. I mean, what a great accomplishment,
right.
You know. And listen, those 2 games came down to the last play of the game with a pass into the end zone. Mm-hmm. The first one against Ruston, it was a pass interference. We thought surely we get another shot. It was on us. And then, of course, the last play of the game, right, kind of in the hands, in the fingertips, if you will, of Trey. And so, I mean, we're 2 plays away from being 10-0 and the number 1 team in the state, all classes. Right. But you know what? At the end of the day, our goal is still in front of us of what the overall goal is. And
Coach, he will wax poetic forever. So at this point, let's go let him coach the boys up.
All right, get them ready.
All right, Coach.
Thank y'all so much for
Get
having
out there.
me.
Thank you.
Bring home a victory. Thank you. Thanks for
y'all.
joining us. All right. Now you can say more words.
Well, let me just do this. 2 of the outspoken seniors on this team
There we go.
are captains as well, and that's Ty Lee and Juwan Johnson. We've mentioned their names on this show almost every week. Not only are they great players on the field, but they possess something off the field that makes them even greater individuals, Amy, and that is the sacrifices that they made off the season or off season to give back and make a difference to those who are a little less fortunate. Ty Lee and Jawan Johnson will take us on a 3-minute journey as we go back to this past June as Ty Lee and Jawan Johnson head down to Mexico to serve and be a part of the lives of those less fortunate.
I've been to Mexico twice with the TFC, and it's just been amazing. It's helped me be more grateful about just going back home and seeing the little things. I want to go to Mexico because the TFC, they just would influence me to come and just end up being a great experience. Some great experience I have just like connecting with the kids. I never thought I could connect with someone so close and I not know what they're saying, or just the way God moves over here is just crazy. The kids are amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's like I met a few little sisters, brothers, and just feel like they're family. I don't know, it's like you could start off not liking you or something, and then the next day, it's like they're more close to you. And then when you go to worship, they're close to you. It's just like the love just keeps growing in just a few days and a few little hours. I want to come back again because the first trip, the way God moved in my life, and just a lot of prayers that I want to be answered, they got answered. And just seeing like a year ago, like last year, like I'm not the same person I used to be. So I just want to just refuel that fire. I invited 2 friends, Jawan and Bryce, and they're just my best friends. So I just know what God could do for me, what he did for me. I just wanted them to have the same experience, honestly. Just seeing them come experience everything and just the kids is a blessing, because I just know that they're just gonna give God all the glory and just praise his name and just tell other people, tell their friends to come and just gonna keep me in a cycle just to come to Mexico or TFC.
My relationship with Ty is great, honestly. I feel like he brought me more closer to God, like throughout our friendship. Him just being a person that wants his friends to be good, honestly, like just to have that mindset of Jesus. He's just a great friend. First off, when he first invited me, I was kind of skeptical about it, cause I ain't really see what was inside of the Mexico trip. So, but definitely as time went on, as things pushed off, like kept going, and I just said, okay, we're doing it. Mexico is great, honestly. It was nothing I expect, honestly, like in like not the environment, but the people. I would say it impacted me a lot. I believe in God, like I have a good faith with God, but I wasn't as strong as I should have been. Like I was in a season where I wasn't like all the way into it. I wasn't all the way into God, but coming here, it definitely pushed me closer, and it made me feel as if like I don't want God no more. Like I need God. I need him to be a part of me and with me. After we worshiped and we praised God, they asked us to come back to the altar and just like talk to him again, like listen to him again, and kneel before the altar, basically. And as I went up and I knelt before the altar, and I just started crying. I couldn't control my emotions. Like I don't really like crying, and it just flooded me. Like my tears like just came, and it was just an amazing moment. I really felt the presence of God, and it was just, the moment was just strong. So I wept.
If you're considering coming to the Mexico trip, don't be nervous or scared. Just follow your heart. God gonna do miraculous things in your life. It's gonna be 10 times more than what you think is gonna happen. It's gonna touch your family, friends, your teammates, your class, your school, just everyone around you and your community.
I'm thankful that Ty invited me, because if not, I probably wouldn't have came. And just experiencing all the love and all the kids over here, it definitely had me happy that he invited me. I'm definitely gonna be coming back. I literally want everybody to experience this trip. Like it's just been amazing. I would definitely invite everybody. Like every person I see, I might just stop them on the side of the road. Hey, come to the mission trip next year, please.
Great guys, great experience, something that they certainly are going to remember the rest of their lives. And you can see both of those guys in action. They're going to be at home November 17th. That's right. November 17th is the next home game, and that is the first playoff game for the Knights. Remember, by this week, home game first playoff game for the Knights next week on the 17th, and they are going to play the winner of Booker T. Washington and Peabody.
All right. Once again, thank you, Hunter Landry, for your time tonight in the studio. We will see you and your team in action next Friday night. Also, thank you, Dustin Oquin with Acadiana Plumbers, for your support tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Good night, Night Nation. Remember, our next episode will air on November 23rd. November 23rd. That's Thanksgiving. We're going to have a special Thanksgiving broadcast, Amy, right here in the Knightcast studio.
Will you wear your turkey costume?
Well,
Are you coming as the Great Pilgrim? Just need to know.
Wait and see, everybody. It's going to be good. I do want to do the John Madden on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, yeah.
He always had the big turkey drumsticks. Let's see some
yes.
turkey drumsticks.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
November 23rd. Happy Thanksgiving. We're coming back.